Adipurusham Tamaham Vajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Dipan Dikayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Amaham Bhajami 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 Govindam
Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Bando muy savadana mate. Bando muy savadana mate. Jahara prasade bai e bhavatori ajai. Jahara prasade bai e bhavatori ajai. Krishna prapti hoy jahate. Krishna prapti hoy jahate. Guru mukha padma vakhya chitte koriya aikya. Guru mukha padma vakhya chitte koriya aikya. Arna kori ho mane asha. Arna kori ho mane asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Utamagati. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Utamagati. Je prasade pure sarva asha. Je prasade pure sarva आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेद गाय जहाँ रचरित वेद गाय जहाँ रचरित श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनारा बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनारा बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना हा हा प्रभु कर दया देहो मोरे पद छाया हा हा प्रभु कर दया देहो मोरे पद छाया ए बेजाज दुख त्रिभुवना ए बेजाज दुख त्रिभुवना शिला प्रभुपाद पतित पावना शिला प्रभुपाद पतित पावना हा हा प्रभु कर दया देहो मोरे पद छाया हा हा प्रभु कर दया देहो मोरे पद छाया ए बेजाज दुख त्रिभुवना शिला प्रभुपाद पतित पावना जय प्रभुपदा 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 शिल प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति-वेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे Gauravani Prasarine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Radhe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Radhe बोलिए, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Bharadari Jaya Gopi Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Giri Bharadari Jaya Giri Bharadari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Yasodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yasodanandana Jaya Yasodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yasodanandana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamuna Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Giri Bharadari Jaya Giri Bharadari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Gopi Jana Balaba Jaya Giri Bharadari Jaya Giri Bharadari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari
Jaya Raja Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitago Haribo 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 Nitago Haribo Nitaigo Haribo 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 Nitaigo Haribo Jaya Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrikacharya Sutra Srimad Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jaya Vishnupa Paramahansa Parivrikacharya Sutra Srimad Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Prabhupada ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Nitai Gopimanandi. All glory to the Assembled devotees, all glory to the Assembled devotees, all glories to the Assembled devotees, all glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. Narayana Namaskritya Narayana Chaiva Narottamam Devam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nastapaye Swabhadresu Nitam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloki Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki Vede Ramane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tata Advadyam Jamadeja Hari Savachakiyate Mukam Karuchivachalam Pangu Langarite Gri Yakripataham Vande Sri Guru Dinatarine Paramananda Madhava Dhammo Prajetu Katabotra Paramonim Mashram Satam Vedan Vastavam Atapastam Shivadan Tapataya Molana Shima Bhagavate Mahamuni Kritinki Vaipara Ishvara Sadyorudi Abarudita Kitibita Kishanan Yasavas Yamana Yan Krishna Paramapuruse Bhakti Utpade Punsaso Kamoha Paya Paha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are continuing the reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, 10th canto, chapter 14. It is prayers of Lord Brahma. Today's text is text 24 and 25. So Lord Brahma continues his prayer to Lord Krishna. So first we just read the text first, and then I'll do the commentaries from the acharyas. Is that 24? Okay. Is that 24, 25 today? There are two texts. Both.
Not together, one by one.
Okay, all right. So today we are reciting together text 24. Evam vidam Tvam Sakalatmanam Api Swatmanam Atma Atmataya Vichakshate Guru Akha Labdho Upanishad Suchakshusha Yet Te Tarantiba Bhavan Anitam Buddhim. Evan Vidancha Sakalatmanapi Satmanam Atmatmataya Vichakshate Gurakalam Jopanisat Suchakshusa Yete Tarantiva Bhavanitam Buddhim. Evam Vidam Tram Sagalatmanapi Satmanam Atmana Atmatmataya Vichakshate Gura Kalabdo Panisa Suchakshusha Yete Tarantiba Bhavanitam Buddhim. Evam Vidantam Sakalatmanapi Swatmanam Atma Taya Vichakshate Gurakalabdo Panisant Suchakshusha Yete Tarantiba Bhavanitam Buddhim. Can please chant? Evam Vedantam Sakalatmanami Swatmanatmataya Vichakshate Gurvakalabdo Panishat Chakshusha Yete Taranti Somebody else? Swatmanam Atmantaya Gurakalabdo Panisa Suchaksusha Ete Taranti Babanitam Buddhim Vangridam Sakalatmanamapi Swatmanam Atmantaya Vichaksate Yete Taranti Babanitam Matajis, ladies. Evan Vidam has thus described Tvam you Sakala of all Atmanam souls Api indeed Swa Atmanam the very soul Atma Atmataya as the super soul Vichakshate they see Guru from the spiritual master Arka who is like the sun Labdha received Upanishad of confidential knowledge, so Chaksusa by the perfect eyes, ye who te they Taranti cross over Yiva easily Baba of material existence. Anrita, which is not real. Ambudim, the ocean. Translation purport. Translation. Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sun-like spiritual master can see you in this way as the very soul of all souls, the super soul of everyone's own self. Thus understanding your original personality, they are able to cross over the ocean of illusory material existence. Purport. As confirmed in the Bhagavad-Gita, Jama Karma Chame Divyam, Evanyo Veti Tatuta, Tattva, Deham Punan Jama, 90 Mam 80 Swajuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, my eternal abode, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Gurave Gurachandaya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tabhaktaya Namo Namaha Jnanam Tremendasya Gananganan Sarakaya Chaktusmitayena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nebisisasyavari Pashtadishtarine Vanchakapaturubhyascha Kripasindevacha Paritanam Pavanavibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Evam vidancham saklatmanamapi swat manam atmat mataya vichakshate guraka labdopanesa suchakshusha yete tarantiba bhavanritam buddhim. Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sun-like spiritual master can see you in this way as the very soul of all souls, the super soul of everyone's own self. Thus, understanding your original personality, they are able to cross over the ocean of illusory material existence. And in text number 25, we have Atmanam ivatmataya vijanatam tenaiva jata nikilam prapanchitam ganena bhuyopi chatat paliyate Rajwan Mahiboga Baba Baba Yata. Translation: a person who mistakes a rope for a snake becomes fearful, but he then gives up his fear upon realizing that the so-called snake does not exist. Similarly, for those who fail to recognize you as the supreme soul of all souls, the expansive, illusory, material existence arises, but knowledge of you at once causes it to subside. There's a purport by the disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Those submerged in illusion see material existence as infinite, just as one who is submerged in water sees only water all around him. For example, material scientists and philosophers submerged deep within the ocean of material illusion. Imagine that material nature extends infinitely in all directions. In fact, the material creation is a finite ocean of ignorance in which foolish living entities such as material scientists are unceremoniously dunked by the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To be trapped in a world in which all things are born and die is certainly a fearful experience. Anyone trapped in a dark place naturally becomes fearful, since material life is always covered by the darkness of ignorance. Every conditioned soul is fearful. The material nature is not ultimate reality, and thus analysis of matter can never provide answers to ultimate questions. This dark, snake-like existence called material life immediately disappears as soon as one opens his eyes to the bright light of Krishna consciousness. So these two verses, and also the subsequent verses by Lord Brahma, this is part of the renderings of Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma is trying to placate Krishna. He's trying to placate Krishna because realizing that he had committed a blunder, in the sense that by trying to play a trick on Krishna, but he eventually was tricked. He thought himself that he could bewilder Krishna, he could frustrate Krishna in his pastimes, but he ended up being frustrated, being bewildered by Krishna's superior potency. Of course, Brahma, is a great devotee of the Lord. Is a pure devotee of the Lord. Normally, the pure devotees do not in any way try to find a way to create some impediment in the Lord's pastimes. Now, we find like Indra, for instance, as we're going to learn in the later chapters, that Indra was very, very puffed up of his position. So he was very puffed up, full of pride of his position, so he tried to create obstacles. Actually, not obstacles, he actually think himself to be so great that when Lord Krishna forbid the Brajabasi from performing the Indra Jaga, and the Brajabasis, they do Govardhan Jaga instead, worshipping Govardhan hill himself. So Indra became so puffed up, he became so angry, and he think that now, because these Brajabasis, they have disobeyed me, so let me punish them. They must be punished. So therefore he sent torrents of rain to try to destroy Vrindavan. And of course, Indra, he was just an insignificant demigod. So ultimately, he wasn't successful, and his pride was deflated by Lord Krishna. But the situation with Brahma and Indra is not the same, because Indra, why he considered himself to be so great, Brahmaji, he never considered himself as such. He's always a devotee. He's always a devotee of the Lord. And not just being a great devotee of the Lord, he's also a person who always bringing people to Krishna consciousness by his dissemination of the Vedic scriptures. He's called Adi Kavaye. He's the one. From him, the Lord spoke directly Vedic scripture to him, and then he disseminates unto mankind, unto humanity, all living entities. And Brahma's sole existence is to simply bring people to Krishna consciousness, to bring people to the awareness of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But how come in this particular situation, Brahma seems to be, trying to frustrate Lord Krishna's pastimes with his friends? This is another form of humor, because we know, actually, as I said in some other class, that Lord Brahma, because of his great position He's the head of the Sampradayas. He's a great devotees. And the great devotees, they are never under any illusion. So therefore, we have the other, we have Sampradaya, actually the Madhva Sampradaya. They say that these 3 chapters of the Bhagavatam, the chapter 12, 13, and 14, they say these 3 chapters are, what do you call it, imposition? No, there's another verse. They were inserted into Bhagavatam. This cannot be part of the Bhagavatam. They were actually put into the Bhagavatam. These three chapters, you know. Yeah, 13 and 14, is it 12? Anyway, so because they said there is no way, because Lord Brahma is the original guru, there is no way a guru can ever be bewildered. So therefore, this cannot be original part of Bhagavatam. However, this is not the conclusion of Sri Chaitanya Prabhu. Why? Because Sridhar Swami, he commented on these chapters of the Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Prabhu accepted Sridhar Swami as an authority on Bhagavatam. So therefore, the notion that this chapter of Bhagavatam is not part of the Bhagavatam, just inserted into Bhagavatam. So therefore, the Gaudiya Vaishnava do not accept, this notion. This is originally part of Bhagavatam, but there is a reason, because the devotees of the Lord, they perform all kinds of humor with the Lord, because they have a relationship. So Brahmaji, in his capacity as a great devotee of the Lord, he wanted to see the greatness of the Lord. He wanted to see his greatness, because he came to Vrindavan and he saw that Krishna is performing so many pastimes, so many, especially the cowherd boys. They were in a picnic. They are exchanging all kinds of lovely dealings with Krishna. Krishna is feeding the gopas, cowherd boys, with his own arm, feeding them the food. And also the cowherd boys, they also feeding Krishna in exchange. They also putting Krishna, they're taking food from their plate and putting it into Krishna's mouth. So these pastimes, he was amazed. Brahmaji, looking at these pastimes, so he became amazed. It's okay, let me try to play some trick. Let me see, if I take Krishna's friends away, what will Krishna do? Is he going to stop his pastime if I take his friends away? So therefore, this whole situation of Brahmaji hiding the calves, and Krishna went to look for the calves, and then again he took all the cowherd boys and put them in a cave. Now he said, okay, let me see what Krishna will do now. But of course, when he came back to see where Krishna was sitting with his friends, he saw that Krishna is still the same. He's playing, same pastimes is going on, the same picnic, the same exchanges between Krishna and the cowherd boys is still going on. So then, of course, Brahma became very bewildered. He became very bewildered. He said, how could this be? How could this be? He became very bewildered. After all, I have just hidden Krishna's friend and the calves. So how could it be that the same Krishna is still there with the same boys, with the same calves, same cowherd boys? So Brahmaji he was looking here and there. He looked at his cave where he hid the boys. The boys are still there in his mystic slumber. And at the same time, you see that the same boys, they were still, playing with Krishna, performing their activities with Krishna. So after some time, Krishna wanted to show him, want to reveal himself as supreme opulence. And then Brahmaji could see that all these boys and calves, they're actually Vishnus, they're actually Vishnu form, because Krishna had expanded himself in the form of Vishnu into all the cowherd boys, into all the calves. Why? Because Krishna is known as Atmaram, self-sufficient. Not just that, it's called Aptakam, the one who's he wants to enjoy himself, and his enjoyment can never be frustrated in any way by anyone. The Lord, when the Lord wants to enjoy himself, he provides himself his own enjoyment. He gives himself his own enjoyment. So therefore, the Lord wants to enjoy himself uninterruptedly. So Brahmaji, he took away all his friends, and Krishna simply immediately replaced all of them with the exact form and with the exact mentality. So when Brahma realized this, he found, oh, I've committed such a big blunder. What to do? How can I pacify Krishna so that he doesn't become angry with me? So Brahmaji, he went to, actually Krishna was standing on the, on the ground below the tree with the same butter in his hand, his flute. Small cowherd boy, he was like 5 years old. So Brahma, he went to prostrate himself before Lord Krishna. Actually, when he went to prostrated himself before Krishna, the cowherd boys, they were there. And they simply saw this big guy, because Brahma is so huge, and they saw him prostrating his dandavat, obeisance to Krishna, who just a small boy. So they were wondering that, look at this guy, big guy, paying his obeisances to little Krishna. So, and then the Brahmaji, he was trying to say some words so that Krishna will not be angry with him. First, so Brahmaji started praying that, oh Krishna, you are the creator, you are the originator of everything. Everything comes from you. So when Brahmaji was saying this, Krishna said that, how can you say this? I'm just a cowherd boy. I'm just a 5-year-old, cowherd boy. So how can you say that I'm the origin of everything? I'm the creator. I'm the cause of all causes. How can you say this? And then Brahmaji said, well, Krishna, from Brahma, from Lord Narayan, I was manifested. I came from the stomach of Lord Narayan. I came from his stomach. And then from Narayan by his orders, I'm able to create this world. But Narayan is but a manifestation of you. Narayan is come from you. So you are the origin of Narayan. So if you are the origin of Narayan, and I come from the stomach of Narayan, so therefore, am I not your child? Am I not your child? Because Narayan comes from you, and I come from Narayan, so therefore I'm your child. And usually, a child can do many, many things to the mother. The mother never becomes angry. A child, a small child on the lap of the mother will can do so many mischievous things. So the mother will never become angry to the child. So therefore, in this way, Brahma was telling Krishna that, look, you cannot become angry with me. I stole your boys, took them away. So therefore, you cannot become angry with me, because this is just like the play, of a child on the lap of the mother. So Brahmaji was saying this. Now through these prayers of Brahman, we can see so many truths are being revealed through this prayer of Lord Brahma. Because Lord Brahma is the, as they say, is the original guru. So in the form of praying to Krishna, he is now explaining the science of reality. For example, in the text which we are reading today, whereby Brahma is saying that evam vidam twan sakalatmananapi swat manam atmataya vichakshate guraka labdo panisa suchakshusha yete tarantiva bhavanit tambudim. So, evam vidam, because this knowledge, which was actually in the previous verse, Brahma, he has said how he had talked about Krishna as being the supreme, as being the oldest, as being the supreme independent, So in the previous verse which you read yesterday, so Lord Brahma is telling Krishna that you are the one supreme soul, the primeval supreme personality, the absolute truth, self-manifested, endless and beginningless. You are eternal and infallible, perfect and complete, without any rival and free from all material designations. Your happiness can never be obstructed, nor have you any connection with material contamination. Indeed, you are the indestructible nectar of immortality. So this is Brahma saying. Even in the very first verse of Bhagavatam, the very first verse, whereby Vyasadeva, he had written in the Jamandyasya verse. So Vyasadeva, he had composed this verse about Lord Krishna's being the supreme of everything being the originator. He said, Jamandyasya Tumbaya, Vitayata Chatesu Abhigyanan Swarat, Tene Brahma Ridaya Dikavaya Munyatiyat Surayat, Tejo Varimidam, Yata Vinimayo, Yatra Tishadva Misha, Damna Sena Sadanirashta Kwakam Satam Param Dhimaya. So Lord Brahma, he said, Oh my Lord Sri Krishna, this is the Vyasadeva writing. Oh son of Vasudeva, oh all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon you, Lord Sri Krishna, because He is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and He is independent because there is no other cause beyond Him. It is He only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge onto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By Him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of Him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of material nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon Him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existence in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. This verse is, this first verse of the Bhagavatam, it's actually completely summarizes the entire Srimad Bhagavatam. Because the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, it's about Krishna. The whole Srimad Bhagavatam is about understanding Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as origin, and whom everyone should serve. So this verse actually is like there's a big long purport of this verse by Srila Prabhupada. As Srila Bhaktivedanta, he gave a 2-month lecture on this verse every day. Every day for 2 months, Srila Bhaktivedanta lecture on this verse of this first verse of Bhagavatam. So that Krishna being the original personality. Now in this verse, which may say Tejavari Medam, that this material world, to those it appears to be factual by those who are simply absorbed in the materialistic sense enjoyment, even though it's unreal, it's not factual. It's not factual, but it appears to be real to those who simply want to enjoy themselves. They think that this material world is all in all. And this verse, which we read today also, talks about this unreal, that, what is that? What is that verse? It's Nritam, which is I'm trying to say this verse. The unreal nature of this material world is what causes us to experience miseries. The unreal nature, because we accept this word as unreal. We accept it to be real, even though it's unreal. So therefore, what happens? We suffer the ocean of materialistic existence. So the acceptance of material world to be real, to be all in all, this is due to ignorance, and this ignorance is a cause of living entities suffering. This ignorance. Now, in the Bhagavatam, 11th canto, chapter 2, text 37, by Kavi, so he said, he was talking of this material world. He said, Bayam Ditiya Bine Vishashatasya Iksha Apetasya Vipayayo Smriti Tan Maya Yacho Buddha Abajetan Bhakti-yoga Kasyesham Guru Deva Tatman. So he said that fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body because of absorption in the external illusory energy of the Lord. When the living entity thus turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. This bewildering, fearful condition is effected by the potency of illusion called Maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, whom he should accept as his worshipable deity and as his very life and soul. So this is the same thing that Brahmaji is saying here, that the only way, if one wants to overcome the miseries of this material world, one should simply accept that yes, the Supreme Lord is the basis of everything, that yes, we are part and parcel, we are part of Him. is called Atmanatmanam. The Lord is the soul of all souls. We come from Him. We come from Him. We are part of Him. So by this understanding that yes, the Lord is the cause of all causes, the Lord is the soul of all souls, just by this understanding, it said that one can be free from the ocean, this bhava. It's called bhavan rimitam buddhim, this materialistic existence, which is simply full of fear. And of course, how do we get this knowledge? The Vedic scriptures provide this knowledge, and of course the bona fide spiritual master give this knowledge. Just like we sing that samsaradava nalagida loka trayakarya ganachan, that this material world is an ocean, is an ocean. Baba, which is very difficult to cross. But if one hears from the spiritual master, then one can easily cross over it. Taranti means to cross over. One can cross over the ocean of materialistic existence. So Lord Brahma is giving this the exposition about the method by which we can be free from the ocean of materialistic existence. Because this material world do not give us good treatment. Material world always treat us very, very roughly. But somehow, because of illusion, we think that, everything's okay. Things may be bad now, but things are going to get better in the future. So therefore, we are always hoping against hope, hoping against hope. Some problem comes, we try to find a way to fix it. But fixing the material problems is just trying to patch something, make a patch. There was a story of a king. So one time the king, he told his minister that he want to find out who is lazy. So he told his minister that you go into the town and announce that tomorrow the king is going to give a bhojan. He's going to give everyone free food. So the minister went out, make a big announcement that yes, tomorrow the king is going to make a very big bhojan that everyone should come. So everyone, they made their preparation to come the next day. And so in the meanwhile, the king told his minister that he should prepare a very big pandal. In this big pandal, this is where everyone will sit to eat the food, to eat the bhojan. So the next day, everyone came, from the time everyone came, they all entered the palace, and then everyone was directed to the pandal. So everyone sat down, waiting for the food. So when everyone sat down waiting, so the king, he told the minister, he said that set fire to this pandal, set fire to it. So the minister is set fire to the pandals, and everyone ran away except two persons. They were two friends. So one of the friends said that I think I'm feeling some heat here, some heat. So his friend told him, well, just turn the other way. If you just turn the other way, you will, maybe you will not feel it. So when the king saw these two fellows trying to make adjustment in the midst of the burning panda, so the king said, these two fellows, they are so lazy. They are so lazy that even though there is fire, they cannot get out. They cannot get up. So this is our nature in this material world. Even though the fire is always around us, but we want to make so much adjustment to it. We want to make so much. We say, no, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. We cannot listen. But those who are fortunate, who listen to the word of the sadhu, who is compared to the sun, who listen to the word, they are the one who get awakened. And when they get awakened, then they start understanding the reality. And they are the one who can get freedom from this tribulation of the materialistic existence. So this is what has been explained here in these prayers by Lord Brahma. Now, and of course, it can be further explained, but we don't have so much time. It's 9 o'clock. Otherwise, this verse can be further explained. So Lord Brahma is giving us such a viable teaching. Okay. So anyway, thank you very much. If there is any question or comment, you can please go ahead. A question to the prayer? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they call it interpolation. Interpolation, yeah. I'm not too sure if it's Madhvacharya himself said, but probably had to come from him, because if the follower said, probably coming from him. The reason being that because a guru can never be illusion, especially a Sadguru, like Lord Brahmaji. So it's on that basis they say that this must be interpolation on the Bhagavatam. That's the reason why. And of course, this is explained by Srila Jiva Goswami in the Tattva Sandarbha. This is explained there that way. Srila Jiva Goswami mentioned this in the Tattva Sandarbha. Jiva Goswami. Yeah. Jiva Goswami. Yeah. If you study Tattva Sandarbha, you will come across this. He just said that Madhava's followers, Madhava's Sampradaya, they don't accept because of this point of Guru being always perfect. Especially Brahmaji is the head of our Sampradaya. So being the head of our Sampradaya, it can never be illusioned. So that's the reason why they say this. Yeah. Yeah. Because there is acceptance that there are some few chapters in the Bhagavatam which are interpolated additions, some. There are some chapters in Bhagavatam which are interpolated. So sometimes it depends on what readings you have. If you have, there are many editions of Bhagavatam. So some may have more, some may have less. So it depends on the read. Just like Chaitanya Charitamrita also, there are more chapters. Some has more chapters, some have less chapters. So it depends on the different readings that you are having. So sometimes this notion of interpolation is sometimes, lodged, that this may be interpolation, that this cannot be the original. Now, some interpolation may have justification, while some may not. Okay. So depending on the sampradaya, because we have many sampradayas. Okay. I'm talking of Vaishnava sampradayas. And the Vaishnava sampradayas, they do have different understandings. They have different readings, the Vaishnava sampradayas. Okay? Yeah. Now we are Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya. Yeah. Sankaracharya was before Madhvacharya. Yeah.
So he says some philosophy, at least they can understand and then come up with like upgrade themselves.
Yeah.
But lastly, he says that shloka is famous shloka. What is that?
Yeah. Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
Philosophy said that, he says, no, this is the truth. Similarly, Madhavacharya says that these three chapters are, let us say, interpreted or meditated or whatever. Which is questionable how Madhavacharya said like that. If this follower says, then we can understand because they are conditioned so much.
Well, I will not say they are conditioned souls because. Yeah. I'm saying, for example, not every teachings of Madhavacharya is accepted by us, by Gaudias. When you read the conversation of Mahaprabhu when he was in Udupi with the acharyas of the Madhvas, so in that conversation, Mahaprabhu pointed out so many mistakes in their philosophy, which is coming from Madhavacharya. So there are, so even though we Gaudiya, we are coming from Madhva, Sampradaya, but there are some point where we have difference. At some point we have difference. So Mahaprabhu created Achintya Beda Tattva. So we are not pure Madhva Sampradayas. We are different also. We are not pure. We are Chaitanya Sampradaya, Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. So this is something we have to understand. Something we don't accept from Madhva Sampradaya, but something we'll do. That you have to study Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now I come beyond the many things is there. For example, of 44 Vaishnava Sampradayas, Mahaprabhu accepts two items from each Sampradaya. Something from Madhva, something from Nimbanka, something from Sri Sampradaya, and something from yeah, anyway, so Mahaprabhu accepts two, and then we form, and then we have Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So which means there are many things we don't accept there, and many things, so that's something that's why we have to understand Mahaprabhu's philosophy very deeply. And this we can know if we study the teachings of the Goswamis. If we study the Arati, with this we can get to know more. And I can't give you. Just if you read the chapter 9 of Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Mahaprabhu was in Udupi, read that chapter. Chapter 9, Madhya Lila, chapter 9 of Chaitanya. You can read that. Yeah. Otherwise, we can go on and on and on trying to prove something. Anyway, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grant Darshan Bhagavatam ki.